Oh, yikes. Getting some dropped frames. Uh, Come on. Reconnect me already. Okay. Nice and early. How you doing? Doing pretty well. How about you? Is it early? 3 o'clock. Is it nighttime yet? Is it like the next day? Can't remember. Good morning to you too, Balor. Good morning. It's like the middle of the day there. Yeah. Like evening time. Oh, okay. So, welcome to Become Sentient, where we make fun of a bunch of idiots who have so few brain cells that you can hardly even tell they're conscious. Now, before we get into the usual program today, I wanted to discuss something. As you might know, the UK has been in a little bit of a dire straits recently, particularly when it comes to their immigration. There's been a massive influx of certain non-Christian people of color that have been murdering and raping school children, have been trying to push their beliefs into law, and have been slowly replacing the people that actually belong there. Now, I thought the UK was completely done, gonna be totally devastated, completely decimated, leveled to the floor, but today, I came across something that gave me a glimmer of hope. Fuck. Restore Britain, that's what it was. For some reason, I couldn't think of the word. Restore Britain. And the leader of this movement, Rupert Lowe. So I pulled up a tweet that he posted just yesterday, and I knew it was going to be a banging tweet, so I thought, let's go through it together on stream. It'd be fun. I read the first couple of sentences, but not much more, but I'm excited to read the rest of it. So let's get into it. It's seen in YouTube Shorts. You've seen what in YouTube Shorts? Here we are. Now, I don't know how well you're going to be able to read it on the Shorts thing, but whatever, bear with me. All right, I'll read it out loud. You don't have to worry about it. So, restore Britain's immigration policy. The lies and smears have already begun, so here's the truth. Illegal migrants gone, all of them, without apology. Every man, every woman, they will all be deported. Unbelievable. Finally, somebody is standing up and saying something without fear. This is what they need with all of the policies that have been brought in recently. This is a massive win if this guy, this guy gets going. We've released the most comprehensive deportation policy ever produced in Britain. Someone doesn't have a spell checker on board, but alas, an editor, that's what they're called. 100 pages of detailed steps to remove every single illegal migrant living in our country. It is deportation poetry. This is step 1. These miscreants are the priority. The sex pests will be removed. The hotels will close. The flights will begin. I promise you that. Unbelievable. Finally, someone is saying it out loud. Somebody who could actually be a candidate that can introduce these changes and not just yap about them, Finally, they got have they got the gay guy out of government yet? Can't remember. The Keir Starmer. What's that guy's name? Yeah, have they kicked him out yet? I thought he was being either like forcefully resigned or something. I can't remember. I haven't been following it too clearly, but I just thought this was fun. It was nice to see somebody actually talking about these things. Don't need to go over it. British people already know my position. Legal immigration for the foreseeable future. Far more people will leave than enter. Entire visa routes will be closed off from certain countries that are proven to supply us with sex pests, criminals, illegals, Islamists, and the rest. Beautifully worded. This is vital. It underpins the entire policy. Who would be on that red list? Albania, Pakistan, Somalia, Eritrea, Afghanistan, and plenty more. We will discriminate. We will look at the facts and then discriminate. Good. Absolutely positive, amazing thing that's going to happen here. Hopefully, you know, fingers crossed. Maybe this guy can finally save the UK. You know, they were once an amazing, powerful nation, controlled a large amount of land in the world, had so much influence over the planet, and now they're a shithole and nobody wants to live there, nobody wants to go there. So this is awesome. I'm very happy this is happening. We must understand that legal immigration has done far more damage to Britain than illegal immigration. Correct. So large parts of that must and will be reversed. If a foreign national is entirely unable to speak English, then they will be asked to leave. How can somebody possibly contribute if they cannot communicate? They can't, they should go home. Thanks, but no thanks. Very interesting. Love that for them. Let's see what's going on here. Hey, Deviant, what's up? How you doing? Immigration problems the UK is having. Yeah. They've been having a lot of problems over there. Sub 5 complaining Looksmaxxing Is Gay. It is gay. I mean, it doesn't matter. Look, you don't have to be a 10 out of 10 to complain about Looksmaxxing being gay. It's gay. It's an insecurity. It's a massive mental health problem. It's just, it is what it is. I mean, I'm just saying the truth. I'm just calling it out. You know, if you obsess over how you look, you're just trying to avoid actually having a personality and accomplishing anything big. It makes no sense for a guy to care so much about his looks. No, it's kind of hard to do now, to be honest. My immigrants engrave themselves a bit too deep now. I believe in this guy. I believe he can pull it off. It's been a while since I've been here. Regards from Chile, it's not bad. Well, maybe beyond that. Maybe that's all you know how to say, but you're doing fine, brother. Don't worry about it. Regards from Spain. Foreigner claiming benefits and living in social housing, again, they will be asked to leave. It is simply not our responsibility to care for these people. I wish them a healthy and happy life in their own countries. Absolutely incredible. How long is it? We're almost through it. Okay. Watch how that helps solve our housing crisis overnight. British social housing for British families, as it should have always been from the beginning. Foreign criminals gone day one. No need to even discuss that. We will not tolerate extremists who wish to do us harm. Foreign Islamists will be deported. Dual national extremists will have their citizenship stripped and then deported. That's very interesting. That's an interesting policy there. I'm all for it. If an individual surrenders his second citizenship in an attempt to fraudulently remain in Britain, we will take the necessary steps to reverse the process and deport them. There's a recurring theme here, I'm sure you have gathered. Incredible. ILR will be abolished in its entirety. The Boris wave will be reversed. If a country refuses to accept their deported citizens, we will threaten them foreign aid, visas, remittances, and more. Push to work with the Americans and others. A deportation NATO. Do it once hard enough, and it won't have to be done again. Third-party scheme, like Rwanda, is key. It means that if we cannot ascertain where a foreign national is from for whatever reason, they go to Rwanda. It's lovely at this time of year. Very nice sarcastic comment there. We'll take a small number of ultra-high skilled migrants on one condition: it benefits the British people. Rules and fees around spouse visas will be erased for individuals from non-red list countries. Fraud will be brutally crushed, but hardworking British men and women have every right to bring their foreign spouse to Britain and raise a family. That will be celebrated and encouraged. Their arrival and subsequent contribution to Britain will be a net positive. In combination with the vast number of unproductive migrants being ejected, there will be one winner: the British people. How many deportations will all of this result in? Millions. If you don't like that, then Restored Britain is not the party for you. If you agree, then I hope you will consider joining us. Absolutely wonderfully said. Love it. No, I haven't paused. I am running it in the background. I'm just not making videos on it. So we're doing fine with it. It's all good. But I've been slowing down a bit. I'm focusing more on the long term because I'm not really not having a good time with it. So anyway, I'm very happy for the British people that they have this party available to them now. You know, praise be to God, they get elected and they actually fix the country and they do what they say they will, which, you know, can't trust the word of a politician usually. But hopefully this guy's telling the truth, and if so, we're gonna make it to the end of the rainbow. So congrats to them for this being available. Anyway, let's get into it. We're gonna be talking about Looksmaxxing. That's the main focus of this video today, of the stream today. But it's not the only one. We'll go back to laughing at bimbos too. But I wanted to talk about a little bit of this Looksmaxxing shit, because I really just don't get it. I've been seeing the stuff around, and it doesn't really resonate with me. The idea that a guy would be so obsessed with how he looks, it's just kind of cringe. It's like we're diverging towards the mean, right? Towards some kind of weird, homunculus, fucking weird mishmash mean somewhere in the middle, right? Where women are becoming more like men, men are becoming more like women. It's horrible. And I think that Looksmaxxing is part of this problem. You know, that's the thing that's making the men be more like women. Just imagine a dude, right? Even if he looks good, imagine a guy who is attractive sitting in front of his mirror doing his fucking eyebrows like, you know, doesn't that just seem fucking gay? Why would you ever want to date this guy? Why would you, like, maybe you'd be attracted to them. Maybe some women would want to sleep with them. Sure, perhaps. But just the thought of that is so off-putting. And I feel like if you were married to this guy or if you were dating this guy, imagine going to the bathroom and seeing this dude with his fucking mouth gaping wide open doing his goddamn eyebrows. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he just dyed the eyebrows. Maybe he's going to tattoo them next. You know, who knows? Anyway, it doesn't make you happy, right? It's not going to fix whatever problems you have in life. If your only goal in life is to sleep with as many women as possible, and your way of getting that is going to be making yourself look as, perfect as humanly possible, fitting into these weird made-up fucking ratios that don't even make any sense, you need to get a life. Anyway, we're going to be going through the guy that's been popularizing this a lot, Clavicular. I don't know much about the guy, except that he's like the final boss of the gay Looksmaxxers. So I have a few videos here lined up regarding him. I haven't seen them. They've been curated for me, so hopefully it gives us some stuff to talk about. Looksmaxxing will get you depressed eventually, no matter how attractive you are or aren't. Either you're ugly and you're rejected by everyone, or you're a god and you lose the purpose of living. Yeah, sure. It's gay. It is absolutely gay. Exactly. Only works if you can actually maintain that lifestyle. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like they struggle maintaining it. The thing is, what they're doing, what the people on social media that are pushing Looksmaxxing, right? The guys that are the Looksmaxxing influencers, let's call them. They can get away with it because that's how they make their money. That's their whole bread and butter in their life, right? The courses that they're pushing is how they live. So it makes sense for them to be obsessed with it. You know, it's like complaining about a bodybuilder who just spends all his time in the gym. It doesn't really make any sense. So I understand that as a strategy, right? They're just giving people what they want. But the thing is, it makes me wonder how many people they're actually helping, because I don't think it's a lot. You know, the majority of people are not going to go from 5s to 10s or 9s or even 8s. You can improve your looks by a little bit, like maybe a couple percentage points, you know, or a couple flat points even on a 10-piece scale. It can definitely be done, and it can certainly improve your life. But they're not going to go from the category where no woman wants them into the category where women want them. That's just genetics. There's not much you could do about that. Unless you go down the rabbit hole even further, where you start getting into plastic surgery, then sure, whatever. Look, sue me. If you do the plastic surgery and you actually go and make that switch, good for you. But a lot of people are not going to go down that route. And even the people that do, I still think it's very shitty behavior. Because imagine you get with some guy. I mean, it works the way I imagine it too, in terms of like a woman. If I was dating a woman and I found out she had plastic surgery to take her from a 4 to an 8, I would be pissed off. You know, that's my genetics we're fucking with here. I come from a pristine bloodline and I want to keep it that way. Thank you. So, anyway, let's see what people are saying here. I'm not reading that. What did he say? Who said? I mean, it's okay to take care of your skin and face, but keep it cool and be bitchy about it. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm not talking about general hygiene. I'm talking about the bone smashing and plastic surgery and leg lengthening. Can you believe that? Imagine already being tall and wanting to go through an excruciatingly painful surgery and recovery process with rehabilitation to make yourself a couple inches taller. Isn't that fucking pathetic? And then your limbs don't even look like they match the rest of your body. Absolutely retarded behavior. Pretty sure it just makes a harsh baseline too attractive and yeah, it just it really doesn't make as big of a difference as people like to claim. Can it improve your life? Absolutely. Are the majority of people taking it way too fucking far? That's a second absolutely for you. Anyway, that's enough of this. Let's get into those videos. There is the man himself. Anyway, actually, before that, the majority of it is just going to be genetics, regardless of what you do. So, kind of pointless. Wait, so these are your intros? Yeah, that was an intro. Correct. Anyway, we're getting into it real spicy right now. See that? I forgot to put on my headphones. Embarrassing. Wow. Here they are. I hope this isn't gonna absolutely blast my eardrums. That shouldn't.
See that? This one you've probably never seen.
Okay.
Now guys, you see that? This one you've probably never seen before. But we're actually gonna give him hollow cheeks and contour his face. Now there actually is real contour that you could get, but I don't find it as effective as doing a black eyebrow or eyeliner pen and then blending it down so it's like, you know, hollow cheeks, right? So we're gonna go along the lateral zygomatic arch. And wait, don't laugh. Sorry.
That is just.
We're gonna blend
bro.
together and down like this.
Hollow cheeks? Really? I didn't realize it gets this degenerate.
No, this is
hey Stacy, what's up?
Chisel.
That is unbelievably gay. This is crazy.
One of the strategies we implemented in that one picture. Now guys, you see that? Look at that. Whoa. Holy contour. And it's not obvious.
Holy gay.
Guys, the key is to do.
I mean, look, it is working. I can't lie about that. But oh my god, just the idea of some guy doing this to himself every morning to get ready for going outside is just so fucking embarrassing. And the thing is, as well, on camera you can't really tell because the camera does some like funky magic to your face, so it kind of blends your skin. But in real life, like, you will be able to tell that these guys wear makeup, and that's just so fucking embarrassing. You wouldn't catch me dead wearing makeup. It's super feminine, right?
These little dashes, not full, just draw
What's the
down.
purpose? I don't know. I guess to appear more attractive, to mog people. That's what they like to do, right? Just a bunch of narcissistic tendencies. Not really. This thing is normal. Yeah, I mean, it's normal in that part of the world, but I still think it's unbelievably gay. I don't think they should be doing it. Super cringe. I don't speak Spanish. Sorry. I had to turn off my VPN, so it's probably going to be showing me to Spanish people now. The YouTube algo has got to get its shit together. Why does it show you to people that are in the country that you're in? Doesn't make any sense. I'm speaking English. You're telling me that the AI can't recognize that I'm speaking English, and it should show me to English speakers. You know, don't let me make their policies, I suppose.
That way you could be a little bit more precise, and it's not as, you know, obvious. Because if you just draw a straight line and try to blend it, be a little bit too overdone, and that's not what you want. Make sure you blend down, because it's sensible that the shadowing would go down your face, right? And you have to follow your anatomy, right? Don't just draw a random line. You have to figure out where your, you know, zygomatic arch is and draw from there and really try to simulate the hollow cheeks as best as you can.
Jesus Christ, this is so pathetic. I can't. Oh, man. Got into YouTube only spot. It's not a makeup phobia. It's just it's a what do they call it? Homophobia, right? Afraid of gay people. That's what I am. This is gay, and it's very scary to me. I'm traumatized. Couldn't imagine going to specific places to meet up with people just to do that. Yeah, that's a good point. I guess they did it for like the video, but the idea that like I'm sure that they get off on this shit. I'm sure that as soon as the cameras stop rolling, they start jerking each other off too. They probably, you know what? They probably take a little bit of this marker and put it down their cock to increase their cock size through contouring too. I wouldn't be surprised if they do that. I mean, look, it did make him look a little bit better, but is it gay? Yes, absolutely. Literally gay as fuck. Yeah, sorry, you freak me out. Didn't tell you that before, but very scary. It's I shiver every time I go to text you. Look, my problem is not with the makeup itself. It's with the obsession of trying to look perfect. Like, I wouldn't necessarily judge a guy just for wearing a little bit of makeup or trying to make himself look a little bit more attractive. But these guys take it way too far. You know, they've gone beyond the rabbit hole. They're on their way to hell with that one. It's unbelievable what these people are up to. You know, I wonder if it's going to cover it in some of the videos coming up. We'll see. Anyway.
This is basically Looksmaxxing. This is basically like trans for people who aren't trans. This influencer clavicular has been on hormones since age 14, wears makeup, does meth to maintain a lean figure, smashes his face with a hammer. This is demented.
I mean, just look at that. Is that not the gayest fucking thing a guy can do? Holy shit, just watch this and try not to cringe.
Maintain a lean figure. Smashes his face with a hammer.
Look at the fucking mascara application. That's crazy. Oh my god. Oh, Jesus. You surprised to see the modeling agencies? Look, that's different. Because you're like, that's their goal, is to look good for the magazines and the photo shoots. That makes sense. It's like, I'm not making fun of people doing this shit for their job. That's why I said at the beginning that I get why these people do it. They make their money this way. But what I don't like is that I imagine they're completely destroying a lot of men's mental health by calling basically every single guy who doesn't wear makeup ugly. I don't think that's good for humanity.
This is demented. To stimulate bone growth for more pronounced features. This is like a male to male transsexual. I mean, it is what it is. More or less demented than going male to female like me. Who am I to say?
This is so embarrassing. Smashing your face with a fucking hammer and putting on a full face of makeup. Oh, man.
Hot take. The Looksmaxxing community is for white men. I said it. Statistically speaking, white men have the most pull in the dating world. All races of women, all of them are attracted to white men. Yes, there's some women who've never dated a white man, but statistically speaking, white men do the best in the dating game. Therefore, when a white man gets super attractive, he ends up pulling all the races. But if you're a black man trying to Looksmaxx and make your eyebrows thicker or get super chiseled, you're just more attractive to black women and other women who already found you attractive. Because I know for a fact there's a black guy watching this that tried getting into Looksmaxxing thinking that if he got hollow cheeks and all these cool Looksmaxxing features, white women would start to find him more attractive. And when it didn't work, he's like, damn, what was all that work for? In conclusion, unless you're white, you can't Looksmaxx yourself into being someone's type. If I lost more body fat and got more Looksmaxxing features, I'd just be more attractive to the girls that already found me attractive, which is black women and Hispanic women.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's wrong. I do think that some women find, like, some white women find super masculine, muscular black dudes attractive. But also, this is, like, beyond the scope of my experience. I don't really know much. Never gonna give you a... You know, it might be hard to tell, but I'm in fact not black, so I don't really have the experience to speak on this subject. I know, shocker. I don't even know if I should trust that guy. He didn't look full black either. That dude was mixed.
Girls don't do that. No.
Not yet. You haven't met the right nigga yet. So I'm gonna put you guys on to gambling. Get you guys all doing math. We're gonna have a good time.
No, I don't think so. Girls don't do that.
I didn't realize he had such a feminine voice. You know what I find weird about these Looksmaxxing guys? Is that they're trying to make their faces look more masculine, like more chiseled, and to give that like masculine aura. But what it ends up doing is just making them look more feminine. Because their skin is so pristine, it's so clear that it looks feminine. Their eyebrows are done. You know, it's just, it's kind of, I wonder if it has like a neutral effect where it's like the changes they made them more masculine, but then the fact that they're making the changes and they're visible are making them more feminine. It's kind of like a waste of time, basically. Who knows? You know, good job. You'll make yourself more feminine and you'll attract all of the women on birth control. You're going to do a great job at that. All the women that are into feminine men. You'll have no trouble with that. Congratulations. Anyway.
Do you have to eat clean or do you just look like that?
Nah, I mean I've pretty much had fast food every day for the past year.
Really?
Yeah,
You give
dude.
me like you eat clean vibes, like wake up protein shake. No.
That's couldn't be the furthest from the truth.
Really?
Yeah.
The thing is, right, he's, you know what? He's basically the epitome of why Looksmaxxing is bad. Because he's putting all of this effort into looking good, and he is completely disregarding developing an actual interesting personality and, you know, improving his intellect and general knowledge about things. And you could tell, because he's got, surely he doesn't have much discipline because he's taking a bunch of steroids. He doesn't work out that much. He doesn't eat healthy. You know, he's taking every shortcut that he possibly can to get to where he wants to be regarding looks. So I don't think this is going to develop him in a very positive direction. Sure, he may be able to attract women, but how well is he going to actually keep them? You know, and that's the main issue. Well, unless, I guess he could just have fun, mess around, and just have sex for a few years. But, you know, when it comes to getting an actual decent woman, he's going to struggle with that. I don't know. You could always grow up and then change your mind and start to develop your character afterwards. Maybe this is going to be something that's going to be short-lived. But I would also love to see this guy when we're like both 60, 70 and seeing if this guy's still doing Looksmaxxing. That would be hilarious. Like, dude, I might be a poopy, ugly kid, but at least I know something. People forget to not judge a book by its cover, bruh. Yeah, thought you were African. I know, right? I really just give off that energy of being black. I know. Very much so.
Well, like,
Why do you say skinny? You just do.
I mean, for a while it was the math, but now it's like more so just the IRL streaming. Probably, what else? Retatrutide, obviously.
Hmm?
It's a peptide. It's like I'm basically on Ozempic, but like
You don't need Ozempic.
well, I need Ozempic to maintain this while eating the way that I do.
Okay. Like, do you?
Jesus. Drugs, surgery, makeup. Christ. You cannot convince me this isn't a mental disorder. Even if he's making his money this way, you can't convince me this is not a mental disorder. Nobody will live that long in 2037 on account of the AG&C? The fuck are you talking about? What? Is it another one of those doomsday predictions? We've had only like 10 of those in my lifetime so far. This is kind of old news, but did you guys see that Noah thing? There was some guy in Africa called Noah, literally very ironic name, who was building arcs because he said that God told him that there was going to be a massive flood on Christmas. Did you hear that story? That was a good one. Turns out, God actually contacted him very close to Christmas and told him that he will hold off the flood. Believe it or not, I know, crazy. God's a real G for that one. As far as I'm aware, that guy ended up getting arrested. So, serves him right. What is this about the agency? Probably is his name is Slave of God. Sunrise, yeah, I don't see anything about it. Never mind.
So let's do some of the Looksmaxxes that are sus. All right, we got the eyelash curler.
At least he acknowledges that it's gay. I mean, even
You know
he's
what I'm saying?
acknowledging it's gay. At least I respect that.
Fraud that positive cancel tilt. All right, so here is what's called a waterline pen. And the idea with this is to create contrast between your sclera and your lower eyelids. Boom.
This is embarrassing to watch. I'm like cringing.
Okay. And you know, that's a very subtle thing. You don't go too hard. Like, you wouldn't be able to know that I did it unless I showed you on the live stream. So call it sus, call it whatever, but we're Looksmaxxing. So now these eye drops, boys, are
Gay
quite
maxing.
literally the biggest Looksmax that you could do, because you're creating contrast between your eye color, your skin tone, and your eyelashes mainly, by having a whiter sclera, or even if you just didn't sleep. But even in your natural sclera will never be anywhere comparable to what it will be using the Lumify drops. The hair we've been...
You know what? I'm kind of curious as to what his goal is with this. I'm very curious because he doesn't seem that interested in women from the footage that I've seen of him. So I just wonder what the goal is, because I think he's doing this for the love of the game. He's not really, I don't think he's doing this to make money. I think he just genuinely really likes this stuff. So it's interesting to see. At least he acknowledges it's gay. I'm gonna start calling it gay maxing, probably. That sounds like the correct term for it. You still streaming on YouTube and Twitch? Yes. Is he your brother? Who? This guy? No. Are you calling me attractive or calling me gay? Which one is it? I'll take either one, whatever. No, I don't know who this guy is. Never met him in my life. It's on a doctrine of loyalty and disavowal. I had my own copy when God talked to me in my holding cell in Tampa, Florida for public indecency. Yeah, God spoke to the guy flaring his balls in public. I believe that for sure. That's a good one. What are the comments? Knew he swung for the other team. Yes. You know, the one thing that I do agree makes a pretty big difference is getting darker eyebrows. I have pretty light eyebrows. Can't even lie. You know, I used to use some Snapchat filters back in the day. Darker eyebrows immediately made me look way better, but whatever. It's still gay, but like, look, I think that there's levels to it, right? Each thing you do comes with like gay points. You know, you do your eyebrows, that's like a 1 point in gay. You do your mascara, that's like a 2 point in gay, you know? And he does all of it. That's the problem. If you want to do just a little bit, you know, do the main stuff where you work out, lose body fat, eat healthy, and then maybe color your eyebrows. I think you're still, you know, you're still straight positive. I don't think that's going to bring you below the gay line. So the problem is doing everything and being obsessed with it. That's what I find funny.
He looks like a minor. What's wrong with you?
Everyone
Was that from the...
Bro, she looks like a minor. What's
No, it
wrong?
was a. Thank you for the sub or follow, whoever that was. I don't have the thing showing up on stream, but
Bro,
thank you.
she
I
looks like a
appreciate it. Hold on, actually, my Twitch thing is not even active right now. Hey, Bing Bang King from Nita? Or Nila? Good name. Nice. Been hear about the files? Bit by bit. I've fallen behind a little bit. What's been going on with those? Fill me in. I'm curious. Maybe we can cover some file stuff too. Look dapper. Thank you. I appreciate that. How have you been?
Bro, she looks like a minor. What's wrong with you?
Everyone
she's
thinks I
19,
look like a
relax.
minor. I was worried. I was honestly like worried about him thinking that. I've been on other streams. They've literally like booted me off because they were like, "You look too young."
She looks about
I'm 19 years old, you guys.
Yeah.
I'm a grown adult. 2 years into being an adult.
What do you mean? I invited you because I thought you were a minor. This is the biggest fucking letdown ever.
True.
Okay,
So true.
then.
Anyway, chat.
then.
Anyway, chat.
I'll leave my braces on a little longer for you.
At least he's got a sense of humor. makes him seem a little bit more likable. Now, she does look about 19. Anyway. I'm good. Last bit of family left for the holidays yesterday. Oh, nice. Where are they off to? I need to blow my nose. Do I have an intermission screen? I don't know. Let me... Yes. He's just joking, Adele. Don't worry about it. He's not serious. So fill me in on the files, Alabek. Epstein got 3 properties as far as I've been able to figure out. Ooh, so is there multiple islands? That's interesting. I should take a look at that. Maybe I should do a stream on the Epstein files. I don't really get into political stuff. Maybe I should, though. I just really don't know that much about politics. So maybe it's time I start reading. One in New Mexico, one in New York, and one in the Caribbean islands. Huh. Which one was the main one?
Right now, I am infertile, but I'm not able to have a kid right now. But if I wanted to, there's a protocol I can put in place that'd be immediately good again.
Wait, why are you infertile right now?
So it's just like a negative feedback loop when you're not needing to produce testosterone anymore because your body realizes, okay, we're getting it from an exogenous
So you're not producing
source.
any testosterone naturally?
No.
None?
No. So right.
And how can you disagree that this is gay? He literally destroyed, at least currently, his biological function, his main biological function of having children is completely fucking decimated. How can you not think that's gay? That's the gayest thing that you could ever do. He's not a man right now. He's got no, basically got no balls. This is crazy. What's wrong with being gay? Explain. I'm so tired. Look, I don't have a problem with gay people, but like, I just think it's fun. Like I don't know how to explain it. It's just gay, right? It's weird for a guy to act gay. If you like having sex with men and you say it and you're proud of it, all good in my books. If you're a guy posing as being straight and you do a bunch of gay things, that's a problem. There's my description. Look like a 12-year-old. Thank you. I really appreciate that. But yeah, this is so silly. I cannot believe that somebody would willingly do this to themselves. He literally admitted he's infertile. That's crazy. Willingly infertile. Unbelievable. A protocol? There's infertile billionaires that can't cure it. Good luck. That would actually be really sad. I would actually feel really bad for him if he couldn't reverse it and he stayed infertile forever. Like, look, I don't prey on people's downfall. I genuinely think that this guy might just be a little mentally ill. I don't want him to be infertile. Like, I hope he's gonna be all right. But yeah, being 19 and this fucked up health-wise is really sad. I wonder how much of it is gonna carry over, you know, into his later years. Laugh like your parents bought you everything. Literally untrue. I've bought everything I have. You don't know anything about me, but all right. I love going into, you know, talk to strangers and just assuming I know everything about them. It is very fun, I will admit. Shut up, look at you. Yeah, look at me. I mean, you're looking at me right now. You have the option to switch off the stream, you know, so why are you still here if I'm so horrible to look at? I'm not holding you hostage here. You're holding yourself hostage, it seems.
You're not my type, so.
What?
We're gonna have to move on. Next segment.
What?
Well, I just don't like her. I don't know.
Well, I think you're very beautiful.
Thank you.
Of course.
Yeah, maybe you could go.
Have a great day.
Yes, you
God
too.
bless.
Anyway, let's go.
What's wrong with you?
Bro, that was not my type.
Dude, she was beautiful.
You thought she was beautiful? Her
Yeah.
eyes were way too far
Bro,
apart.
she looks so sad. Yo, bro.
What?
She looks so sad.
Dude, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like, you're not my type.
I mean, women get sad when rejected all the time because it happens so rarely, especially if you're an attractive girl. I can't really tell. Like, I don't really want to comment on what she looks like. She's wearing so much makeup. It's really hard to tell what's underneath. But she does look like she's probably pretty, but also we're getting like a weird angle, so. They're just projecting their own life. It's hilarious. I don't have to judge people. I'm just making fun of it because it's fun. It's just a good time. You're the one taking it to heart. You never be anything close to it. I don't want to. I'm not interested. You do sound like you're kind of projecting. Like, are you okay, man? People don't usually get this offended unless you're the one that's being talked about. Right? Let me give you an analogy. I actually really love using this analogy. I came up with this one. You know how when you call a fat person fat, they get offended. But then they go on and say that, oh, I love being fat. Being fat is great. I'm very proud of myself. But when you say, oh, you're so fat, they get offended, right? Now, let me flip this around. Let's say you go up to a bodybuilder and you're like, you're so muscular. Is he going to be offended? No, right? That's ridiculous. Why would he get offended? He chose this. He wants to be muscular. He actually loves himself. He likes that he's muscular. That now becomes a compliment. So if somebody says something to you and you get your feelings hurt, it's not, you don't love yourself. You don't love that aspect of yourself, right? You're insecure about it. That's why you get upset. Because otherwise you would take it as a compliment. So anyway. Drama going on. I don't know why you're so butthurt about this, man. You gotta get a life. Like, if you're so unhappy being here, you should just go somewhere else. Someone doesn't know how to have some fun. As if you've never made fun of somebody before. It's all in good fun. Look, I don't wish anything bad on the guy. It's just for some entertainment. Judge, he says, and opened up by saying you look like a 12-year-old. That's why people think you're a joke and stupid. Yeah. You're really not pulling yourself out of this one, buddy. Say to a female that she's skinny and fit looking, then she will not complain either. Exactly, that's my point. You only get offended when you actually are hurt by the thing that's being said. So that's why people say that it's projecting, because you're projecting your own insecurities whenever you make fun of somebody or, you know, for what they're doing, because they're insulting you in some way. So anyway. No need to give that guy any more attention. Not gonna get anywhere. Speaking of, I'm actually gonna go get some water. So I'm out of water, so give me a few minutes. I'm gonna scoot off stream here. I'm back. Water acquired. Oh, everybody's just just arguing in chat. That's all right. You guys keep doing that. Probably good for engagement. Thank you. Hey, Annihilator, how you doing, bro?
What do I rate you 1 out of 10? 7.5. Yeah, your answers are
fair
slightly
rating.
recessed. And do you have filler in your lips? Yeah. Okay, so that just makes you look a little bit weird. But besides that, you look good.
Yeah. I agree. I completely agree. Totally accurate on that one. He got it spot on. The filler does make her look a little weird. She might be an 8 without the filler.
What do you rate me 1 out of 10?
Yeah. Nose is a little bit off. Lips are a little bit off. Proportions. But yeah, no, she's decent looking. Pretty good looking. Is that I show speed? I didn't even notice. I didn't look. What else? Where else you streaming? Twitch as well. If you'd rather go there. Yeah, I remember you, Annihilator. Don't. Yeah, I do remember. How have you been? What is this? The Unemployed News Network? Correct. Welcome, Unemployed News Network. Yes, love that.
Whenever I'm having sex with a girl, I'm always imagining another girl. You know?
Who'd you imagine?
Wait, what? Nah, but like a hotter girl. You know? That just makes it better, right? Why would you do that? You're not.
But why would you have sex with a girl that you don't find attractive? Like, just to get off? That's really weird. I really don't like this whole degenerate sex stuff. Very strange, you know? A lot of people will say I'm very red pill. That's the one part of the red pill I disagree with. I don't think people should be having degenerate sex with strangers.
That's a bit fucked.
Imagine another girl. Yeah, you think about another girl while you're fucking one. Why don't you just fuck the girl that you're thinking of? Well, maybe she's not around. Yeah. That's crazy. Bro, tell me you've never done that.
I've done it.
I've never. Yeah.
I'd rather just be thinking of the two. You know?
Sometimes the girl's not getting you off, so you gotta think of like that one fucking bitch that. Nah, if a girl touches my dick, it's over. Funny thing is, when
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. I wish people went back to actually trying to make connections with others. You know, not just having sex for pleasure, because it fucks up your brain. When you have a lot of sex, a lot of one-night stands with many different people, you start to look at women like they're sex toys, like they're fleshlights. Like, it's basically just you masturbating at a certain point, and it's kind of gross. It's pathetic. You're not building a connection with anyone. You're not having children. Actually, you're wearing condoms, which is even more gay. You're not having any children. You're wrapping your dick in plastic. Like, you might as well just be a fleshlight. People need to find a partner and just stay with them. I don't understand this whole degenerate sex stuff nowadays. Anyone open with their bodies like that are usually traumatized. I wouldn't know, but that sounds about right. I do think that a lot of them have issues. Or if they don't have issues, they end up developing issues. Was project successful? Yes, I'm happy with what I've done. But I did stop streaming it because I got a bit bored of it, to be honest. Yeah, strange behavior. Maybe someday we're gonna go back to how it was. You know, people are gonna start being more responsible with others and themselves, but who knows? I really don't like this whole sexual revelation that we have. As far as my brief knowledge of history goes, I'm pretty sure that throughout all of history, whenever societies became the most overtly sexual is when they were on the brink of downfall. Maybe that's what's happening now too. Everything is being hypersexualized. Maybe we're just brink of collapse. Who knows? We'll see. How you find Half Sword? I haven't played since. I only played on stream. I liked it though. It was a good time. But it's very unfinished. Like, I know it's early access, but they got a lot of work left to do on that game. What's this content? Just fun. Just making fun of some people. Didn't even know YouTube had a live. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. I actually think that if YouTube put the most amount of effort as they could into making the lives better, they could just completely wipe the floor with Twitch. I like YouTube's live streaming more, even now. But the chats are not as good. That's what kind of ruins the experience. It's very convenient.
Another reason to not get married is that when your husband decides that he actually doesn't want to be with you anymore, he may just kill you. So you could dodge that bullet quite literally, but also figuratively, by just never getting married.
What the fuck kind of take is this? What? The same? Does she know the same thing happens the other way around? There's been loads of men that have been murdered by their wives. I mean, this isn't a universally female experience here. You know? Not seen one benefit to marriage. And the comments are kind of lame. Never has good comments.
Pays all the bills, right?
Yeah.
Shouldn't you be cooking for him and like doing his laundry?
Well, he makes dinner, and he's always done his own laundry.
Right, but that was before he was married to you, and now he's married to you, so it's your job.
I'm confused. Wait, did he marry me or did he hire me? Because it sounds like you're under the impression that he hired me.
Well, why did he marry you then?
So then why did he marry me?
Yeah.
Because he loves me?
Doesn't he also do the dishes after he cooks
Yeah,
dinner?
he also does the dishes.
You just
Okay, but in this case, how do you showcase your love if you're just, from the sound of it, sitting on your ass, you're out of work, don't do any household chores? So what the fuck do you do then? You're just a useless bitch. You're just a slouch. You just lounge around all day. Sloth. Like, what's the point? You're just a pretty face on the couch? Well, moderately pretty face on the couch? Is that your only purpose? That's kind of sad. You know, you got to showcase your love too, not just exist.
He also does the dishes.
You just sit on the couch all day then, you admit it.
You can't think of anything to do other than cook and clean?
I'm just saying I don't see the point of marrying you if you're not going to cook for him and clean for him. Like, what's the point of having a wife if she doesn't do her job as a wife? Probably miserable, and he needs to get a divorce for his own sake. Your husband...
I mean, look, calling it a job is obviously retarded. That's like incel behavior. The whole point is that you're supposed to make each other's lives easier and not harder. Having a woman comes with negatives, you know? It comes with additional headache and difficulty. So if she's just sitting there not actually contributing anything to your life besides existing, I mean, it is kind of pointless to marry her. Now, she doesn't have to showcase her love by washing the dishes and cooking dinner. You know, people can organize however they like to have their lives, but you got to show it somehow. I like the traditional setup. I like the traditional setup of man goes to work, woman takes care of the house, especially when you have children. But you know, you can orient it whatever way you like. You could flip it around on its head if you like. You know, woman goes to work, man stays at home. I don't really care. As long as you're contributing to each other. Like I said, you're meant to make each other's lives easier, not more difficult. So I would just be wondering what she's doing besides working and household chores. What else is there to do? Just live her life and have some hobbies? Like, how do you help out your husband in any way? Can you remove him? Nah, just ignore him. It's all right. Made another ambient channel yesterday. I'm using Midjourney to put together vids, making music on Sonic PI, and putting it together in VideoPad video editor. How's that going? You got a good setup for it? Hey, Rapid, how you doing? Long time no see indeed. How you been? Ah, well. Not much I could do about that. Look, I was born with apparently a very soft face, so I can't help but look young. Not much I can do about that. I mean, actually, I could. If I went bald, I would age 20 years like that. But I just don't wanna. I'd rather look too young than too old. So it's all good. So what does she do? Yeah, that's what I want to know. What does she do? Justifying laziness, absolutely nothing. Yeah. What do you do with your time then? I don't even know how many of these videos end up being like rage baiting. There's a lot of them do that too. Who knows? But it appears that she does nothing.
I come home after a 13-hour shift, and this is what my kitchen looks like. And my unemployed husband, where we have one child who's at school from 9 until 5, just decided to drink 8 beers, just chilling at home by himself. I mean,
what's the problem? Guys just taking a break, relaxing, having some beers, you know, chilling out. Obviously, the household chores are all the woman's responsibility. So when she comes home from work, that bitch better get to doing the dishes. You know what I mean? I'm joking. This guy's a pathetic fucking loser. He needs to go get a job or at the very fucking least clean up. Jesus Christ. What a loser. Becoming bald makes everyone look older. Yeah, but it would do a fucking number on me. You'd look like Dr. Evil Unhinged. I never watched the Austin Powers movies. What does he even look like? Ah, this guy. Yeah, I would look like that guy. This is true. Good observation. Yeah, no, this guy's a pathetic loser.
side note, these dishes, they've been in there for 2 days.
Okay, bitch. Well, you're part of the problem then. Why are you keeping the dishes in the sink for 2 days? Holy shit, disgusting behavior. Wow. No, that guy needs a new hole. I didn't say that expression the correct way at all. You could rip him a new hole. That's what I was trying to say. That didn't go too well. Anyway.
Here's why more and more young women are rejecting feminism and just like do not want to be associated with it at all. I think these younger
I could tell you right now in one word. Brainwashing. It's all brainwashing. It's social media. Social media is making them all think this way. It's making their minds woozy. The birth control doesn't help either. Everything's causing the problems. Got a lot of, hormonal disruptors, polyester underwear, hormones injected into our meat and into our vegetables. Horrible things happening. All of that is fucking everything up. There's a lot of reasons. It almost seems planned, That's how bad it is. How many dishes is that? I mean, that's it? That little? I could clean all that in just a couple minutes. Yeah, true. I've gotten a lot of attention nowadays since his stream. I never thought you'd make this kind of content. Yeah, I didn't know either. I actually used to make similar kind of content. I've had multiple channels before, but I always cut them off previously. I was younger and I was like more afraid of what people would think of me. And I was always afraid of like getting a job and people potentially finding out that I make this kind of content. But being self-employed, I don't really have to worry about that. Makes it a lot easier. But I am also digging my own hole here because I don't think I could ever go back to being employed if this ever gets popular enough for people to recognize me or to look me up. That's also why I don't want to use my name associated with this channel, because it just reduces the odds that some employer could look me up and find me online, you know? That would be a big no-no. For some reason, people seem to can't... for some reason, people can't seem to separate work from personal lives. It's a shame, but that's how it is. That's how people think nowadays. So you kind of have to play the game a little bit.
Generations have really, really good BS detectors. So on its face, feminism sounds great, right? Equality for all and girls supporting girls. That sounds so beautiful. But the second you kind of test that out, you very quickly find that it has just become a total facade. If I'm putting on makeup for my husband to come home from work, or if I'm cooking for him, they get upset. They don't like that. Like, whoever the head of PR is for feminism needs to be fired. They are doing a horrible job because almost all of their representatives who are outspoken, they just seem so miserable, so hateful, so bitter. It doesn't look fun at all. Nothing about that sounds appealing. I think that's why we're starting to see the like trad wife stuff on TikTok, is because people are so sick of the other side. Like,
yeah, it's all the extremes. And you'll see this on social media constantly. Everything is always an extreme. There's nothing in the middle because extremity is how you get attention. The most popular people are the most extreme. That's why they're getting popular. Brings attention, hooks people in. So that's the problem. You go from one extreme to the other. It's a constant flip-flop between the two. You know, when something comes up that becomes extremely popular, that's extreme, you can bet your fucking ass that a little bit down the line, it's going to reverse and there's going to be the opposite. Kind of like how like Christian content is very popular nowadays. It's on the rise because for a while people were very anti-religion. So now it's just having a resurgence. The trends come and go, but they often just flip-flop back and forth. Easiest way to do anything new is whatever's trending right now, start preparing to do the opposite. Remember the 90s, people would say to use an online handle to separate online from personality. Now people want everything personal. I think that it's good to have your personal brand out there too, because it makes you look more human and more relatable. That's kind of why I do it now. I was extremely safe with all of my personal information online up until literally this year. So I don't know. I kind of had the revelation that I'm not gonna. There's no way I could build a loyal following unless people know who I am. Because why would anybody listen to my opinions? Particularly when it comes to this. Because the whole point of this channel is to make fun of people for dumb opinions. Basically, is to, you know, showcase stupidity and lack of self-awareness and call it out. If I'm afraid to say these things and if I'm afraid to connect them to my name, I'm kind of failing to deliver the message. Because people are then also going to be afraid of sharing these things. So I have to kind of be out there. Give Botox lady. Wow, yeah, actually, now that you mention it, her skin is fucking pristine. The economy of absurdism. They say wild stuff, people react, make profit, people believe in it. More absurdism, occurs, cycle repeats. Yeah, exactly. Well said. Completely agree.
So done with the angry, man-hating, like putting women down. Ugh, it's boring, it's old, we're done with it. You don't have to like me, you don't have to like other women on social media. You can call everybody names and be upset, but just don't pretend that you support other women because you don't. And a lot of people are seeing right through it. Okay, here.
Yeah. She's on our side, it seems. This is a decent one. I'm gonna go to sleep. See you next time. See ya. Thanks for sticking around. See you next time. People can have smooth skin without Botox. Also true. That is very good skin, though. I don't know if she's wearing a filter or something, but she looks great. Nice, attractive lady with a good opinion. You love to see it.
doesn't have a fucking Roth IRA.
Oh, relax.
I'm not arguing with a bitch who doesn't have a fucking Roth IRA. All these trad wives in my comments like, oh, my husband gives me an allowance. Good for you. And in exchange, you wash his fucking dirty ass underwear. I don't want to fucking do that. And I don't want to take care of kids either. Like, you guys are so fucking annoying. Why should I want to be unemployed to be like you? I don't want to be like you. I want to have a fucking retirement. Shut the fuck up. I'm not arguing.
I mean, no one's telling you what to do. You can do whatever you want. You know, you don't have to be so aggressive. If anything, the career mindset is the more popular one nowadays. So the trad wives are just the, you know, the opposite end of the stick. They're trying to stand up for the trad women because there's a lot of women out there that still want to be traditional and they've been being hated on for a good while now. So they're trying to build up a community that's in support of them too. You don't have to be so mad about it. Jesus. It's all good. You can do whatever you want. You don't have to have a husband. You can go shake your ass for as long as you want. You don't have to have children. Nobody's telling you how to live your life. Don't get into a relationship if you want to focus on yourself. Well said. See, this kid is smarter than her. You're doing both live shorts and yes, I am. Hope she's happy with her retirement and no family to enjoy it with. Absolutely. Well said. Women are so angry. I want to get married and have as many kids as soon as possible. I don't want to work. I want to be a stay-at-home mom. Yeah, I mean, that's what every woman, in my opinion, should aspire to be. Because the most wonderful thing that a woman could ever do with her life is have children. Because the only purpose really you have as humans, I said you as if I'm not part of it. We have as humans is to reproduce. It's a wonderful experience. It's a great thing to do. And without it, we would all die. So it's really essentially our great big purpose. So if you're not going to have kids, it just makes me wonder, what are you going to spend your life with? What are you going to spend your life doing? You know, you're going to have, like, what purpose could you possibly have? So I'm happy for you. I'm very glad you're on the right side of the spectrum here, Noob Cake. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking? Sustainable development, but don't have kids for whom you want sustainable development. Yeah. It's all a massive contradiction. It makes no fucking sense. It's all just brainwashing. It's sad, but like, what can you do? That's just the environment nowadays. The more people, you know, talk about the other side, the better. I'm trying to be an advocate on how I believe women will be the happiest possible. 19. Wow. Congratulations. I'm very happy for you that you have this mindset at such a young age. Wonderful. Good for you. It's quite sad because it's difficult to grow up knowing what the right thing to do is, especially when you don't have good parents. Because a lot of parents nowadays are pushing the whole feminism thing because they grew up in that kind of second wave of feminism. So that's what was popular in their lifetimes. And you don't get a lot of great experience from it. And then social media content is also pushing an agenda to, you know, make people infertile and not want to have kids. And it's just sad. It's hard to escape that cycle. I feel like most of the time it's either just luck or you just have to have a particular kind of brain. And, you know, not much else you could do. The suit is not oversized. I don't know what your problem is. It comes to my shoulders. It's tapered. The sleeves are the right length. You have issues, man. Anyway, I need to blow my nose again. Give me a second. I'm back with the commercial break. I'm just kidding. I'm mildly kidding. If you like what I'm talking about, you like my opinions, and you want to join a community of like-minded people, click the link in my bio on YouTube or in the description. You could join us. We're cool people over there. What's with the stupid video? What video? This stupid stream right now, or which one? Mofos can get trad wives as 2026. No, you absolutely can. They're out there. They're just not on social media, man. You just gotta go get touch grass and then it's all good. There's nothing with being traditional. I hate how it's demonized. Yeah, I agree. Completely agree. You got to be supportive of your wife and not treat her like shit. Oh, I agree. Absolutely. You got to do work around the house. Life sucks. Look, I'm not against that. I think that I just don't believe in the way people push the idea of 50-50. A lot of the women that are complaining about men not doing anything also don't have a job and they stay at home. That's what I think the problem is. It's not about having a slave or having somebody who does things that you don't want to do. It's about a shared responsibilities. If the guy goes to work and the woman stays at home, she should be the caretaker of the house. If they both work, then some of the chores should be split. I don't think that the woman should be doing everything. Same way, if the woman is staying at home and she takes care of kids and she's with them all day, especially when they're very young and they don't go to school yet, you know, she deserves a break. When you come home from work, if you're just going to lounge around and drink beer and watch TV and not help your wife out, you're a piece of shit as well, as far as I'm concerned. I'm not super red pill. I think that people just have a lot of these concepts misconstrued. My issue is with laziness. A lot of these women that are preaching 50-50 don't do 50-50. They want like 90-10. That's my issue with it. Maybe I don't understand because my fiance works too. Yeah, and that's fine. If you want to split responsibilities, that's okay. I think the thing is, chores are not the only thing that you have to split to be in a 50-50 relationship, right? Because a lot of people act like you have to do 50% of everything, like split every task 50%. That's not it. You know, you should just live your lives and try your best to support each other. If your wife or your husband or whatever is tired, offer to do their chore for them. You know, just work around the house. In my opinion, the best way you're going to have the best relationship is to imagine yourselves as trying to form a union. You're trying to become one being. So how would you help your second half? That's how you should live. Are you both putting in an approximately equal amount of effort into being together and to helping each other? That's really what matters. No, I didn't just spill water all over myself. You didn't see that? Fake news. This was actually AI. Anyway. It's me again. I'm a CapCut user now. Nice. Why do you still text with weird font? Huh? Ronald McDonald looking ass. Yeah, I want to watch this one. This is a good one. I hope at least. Let's see. About to find out.
Someone needs to tell the princess trad wife, I don't talk to the waitress, staff, influencers about dom and sub relationships. Get them involved in the kink scene, introduce them to BDSM, because I'm glad people are talking about this, because this is what it's what I've always thought, that these like super conservative traditional women, they have a thing for submission, but they don't, because there's just like no sexuality education if you're in.
I don't think that that's true. I think the natural state of a woman is submissive. I think the general state of a woman is submissive. That's just what I think their like biological marker is set at. It's not a kink. Like, it can be, of course, obviously people have that, but people also misconstrue what people mean by submissive. Submissive doesn't mean you're a slave. Submissive means you let somebody have authority and power over you. Now, that's not a bad thing, because you don't want to have a household where there is no leader. It's like not having a captain of a boat. It would be disastrous. You got to have somebody who makes decisions. Now, I don't even care who is in the submissive role, but typically it seems to be women. And I just think that that's what biologically makes the most sense. Anyway, what was I saying? You need to have a leader to steer the ship. Sometimes they are going to make mistakes. Sometimes they're going to be wrong. And as a woman, you can give counsel. You can give your opinion. But somebody's got to make a decision at the end of the day. And if you have a situation where you split decisions 50-50, there will often be a case where you cannot make a decision and you're split. And this is going to put a big tear in your relationship. It's going to be very difficult for you to overcome that. That's why you need a leader. What a degenerate. She wears a cross just for show. Yeah, it always is. I don't take advice from anyone who looks like that. Good for you. You know, I like you. You're cool. Nice. Hey, Chaz, what's up?
If you have those views, so they think it's just like, oh, this is a woman's natural state, is to be submissive because I really like this. This makes me really happy. And they can't connect it. And so they just assume that all other women feel the exact same way.
Obviously, not all women feel the exact same way. But I also believe that a lot of women have been brainwashed and traumatized and abused as children. And they've just turned out in a way that's not how they're supposed to feel. I actually feel sorry for her. I agree. I kind of feel sorry for her as well. Like, the thing is, you know what I always find the saddest? When I see women like this, who underneath all the clown makeup, you can tell she's a pretty woman. This is a pretty woman who has been betrayed by society. And it's sad to see. Like, she could have had a very good, fulfilling life without all of the indoctrination that she faced.
But it's just, I think it's like a kink thing. They're never going to make that connection because they believe that that's just how women, like, this is how women are naturally. When it's activating something in your brain, but you don't know what it's activating. But you should explore it a little bit. In a way that doesn't damage other women and spread this false narrative.
You know, here's another interesting thing. The reason why I think that women are naturally submissive is because men have this instinct where we want to help society. We want to help each other. We want to make the world a better place. We care about the future. We care about humanity as a whole. We care about our neighbors. We want to push things forward. That's why men work. And that's why men, a lot of the time, enjoy work, because it gives them a sense of purpose. Women, by nature, are very selfish. And it's for good reason. It's because she is meant to be the protector of the children. She's supposed to be selfish. She's supposed to find a man who's capable enough to protect her. And she is meant to protect her children. She's meant to make difficult decisions when it comes to the child. So, Jesus, brain fart. I'm going to take some water. Yeah, so women are by nature are selfish, which makes sense that they don't like working. Because they don't care about helping others. They don't find a sense of purpose in helping society or building something for the future generations. They just care about themselves and their children. They just want to make sure that they're protected, their family's all good, and that's it. So it makes more sense for them to not work. How are you? I'm doing pretty well. Not much to complain about, just having fun.
Like, I saw this video of this woman, super traditional conservative, talking about how when you get married, your body belongs to your husband and your husband's body belongs to you, and you should not deny physical relations with that.
I agree with that.
I was like, CNC.
No, I mean, this is just, why get married if you're not going to have a duty to your partner? In my opinion, sex is a duty of a relationship. It's a duty of a marriage. You're not supposed to have sex because you feel like it. There's going to be a lot of situations in your marriage, apart from sex, where you're going to have to do a bunch of stuff that you really, really don't feel like doing, but that has to be done. That is what it's like to have a sense of duty. And you have a sense of duty to your partner. If your partner has sexual needs, you need to help satisfy them. Now, obviously, there are like exceptions to this. The other person has to have the same respect towards you. Like, if you had somebody recently pass away and you're not in the mood for sex, that doesn't mean you're supposed to, get on your knees. I'm not saying that. But when the respect is mutual and goes both ways, and you accept that you have a duty to your partner, your relationship is that much stronger. And I believe that sex is a duty, that you should be trying to satisfy your partner, you know, in every way, as much as possible. What the fuck? No, you creep. Why? Tell me, give me your point of view instead of just being personally insulting. So why is it that you think sex is different from any other duty or responsibility? Because I think that you don't have a sense of what marriage is. You're being selfish about what you want and what you need, and you don't care about your partner. And if that's the case, I don't think you should be in a marriage. You just shouldn't be married. I'm not phrasing it wrong at all. I believe this word for word. You have a duty to your partner. I genuinely don't think that. Okay, this will be a little controversial. I don't know if I should say that. Okay, at the very least, I find it strange that. I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this in a way that's correct, because I don't want to be misunderstood. Just having sex with your spouse is not, it can never be rape. Just having normal sex. Because your partner should always want to have sex with you. So, obviously rape can happen. Like I said in the situation where, you know, someone passed away recently, you're not in the mood. If somebody forces themselves on you and has sex with you, that's rape. But when you enter a marriage, it comes with the notion that sex is an expected part of the marriage. It is a duty of you. You should try to fulfill your duty whenever possible. And if you have the mutual respect for each other, there would never be a situation where rape would occur. Because if the man is respectful of the wife and her boundaries and what her wants and needs, and the woman has the same for the husband, then there can never be a situation where one of you gets raped. It's impossible. The only issue that happens is when people don't have the correct view on what responsibilities and duties the other person and themselves has, and they don't align. Or if somebody goes mentally insane, or you married somebody who's psychotic. Because there can't be rape if you should always want to please your partner. That's what I'm trying to say, basically. Yes. Controversial, but true. And I will stand by that. Stop being woke, he's talking facts. There we go. See? I'm right. I'm right. You can disagree as much as you want. People are so emotional. Exactly. This is so true. It's like, you know what? This is a part of being self-aware, which I want to explain to people. Things are not always black and white. You always imagine things typically from the perspective of the worst situation you can imagine. You have to understand that everybody's lives are different. Every relationship is different. And the way things apply changes based on the people. If you think of, if you think of your partner and you believe he can rape you, I think that there's a massive difference between you and your relationship and a relationship where she doesn't feel that way about her husband. Don't you think? Don't you think there would be a drastic difference there? It says a lot about how you feel of regarding your partner. Really tells the story. I know I'm going to be misunderstood regardless. Doesn't matter how much I try to clarify it. But I'm going to stand by that. I believe that. Great seeing you back. What are you working on at the moment? I just making fun of people that I think lack self-awareness. That are unable to discuss topics that are beyond their comprehension and understanding. Being open-minded is hard. It is a skill. It's not easy. It's difficult to especially consider things that you've believed your whole life that you don't really have a way to explain. And it's sometimes you can really destroy somebody's complete worldview by telling them something that they disagree with, that they can't explain why they disagree with it.
free use, consensual non-consent, that's it. And you're just like trying to tie it to the Bible, but you're into that and you don't understand that that's not advice you should give to everyone. That's not something.
It's just a sense of duty. You just don't understand. A marriage is not easy. A marriage is not two individuals living as separate beings trying to cohabitate. A marriage is the union of two individuals to become one. If you have these strong, weird boundaries you put in place because you don't want to have a sense of responsibility or duty to your partner, you can never reach that union. And that's why so many marriages split up, because they're not going into the marriage with the perspective of trying to become one. And if that's the case, you shouldn't get married. Marriage is not for you. The woke era is over. New generation are reverting back to traditionalism. It was always better that way. You should never read the Bible. Well said. Absolutely. This is not open-minded. Then explain yourself. Give me a valid argument. I like discussing these things. I will openly look. I'm not somebody who is set in his beliefs. I will always take into consideration other facts. I don't know everything. I'm just a person. But from everything I do know currently, this is my opinion. And I invite you to fight me on that. I always love learning other perspectives. Now, other perspectives may not necessarily always lead to a change of mind, but it can contribute. And oftentimes it can even help strengthen your own position. I like hearing different opinions. I don't like when people start personally insulting you, because to me that just says that they're stupid, that they have no argument. Just because somebody disagrees with you does not mean they're automatically an idiot. You might be missing something. You should always be open to learning something new. I'm not going to shut anybody down. I'm always open to discussion. But see, why are you making that assumption about me? This is what I mean. Like you believe something about me that you don't know. Like I said, I want to hear your opinion, but you're not giving it. So to me, that signals that you don't really know how to argue it. And you're not the only one. I have this problem happen all the time where people would disagree with me but not say why. And you have to understand that I just have no reason to how can I possibly relate to this person? How can I possibly... There's no substance there. Of course I'm going to keep believing what I believe if nobody can give me a solid counter argument. Looksmaxxers are worse and dumber than the old self-help book style that went with secret book blow shit style. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
You should be saying to just normal people. That is a you situation. You are into that. That is not applicable to everyone. And that's like, I was like, you can't just say that.
I do also think that that's true. Like, look, I'm not saying everything applies to everyone, obviously. You got to generalize. I think that the normal state of being is that. But obviously there are people who just would not fit into these roles at all and would not be capable of doing this. I don't believe everybody should be married. I don't believe that everybody should have a relationship where the woman is submissive. You should do what you think is best for your situation. What I don't like is brainwashing and repeating things without a solid argument. Because a lot of social media, you will notice, is extremism with no backing. And that's what I'm against, because all that happens is breeds a bunch of people who have no self-awareness. If you ask a person a question and they can't answer why, they don't know why they believe what they believe, then they don't actually have a belief, they have somebody else's belief. And that's what my problem is. You need to decide what's best for your life based on your knowledge and expertise, and you need to be able to rationalize why you live your life according to those rules. If you can't, you need to start exploring. That's what I'm trying to teach. Traditionalism is dumb. Why? Say why. Explain.
You can't just say that consent doesn't exist in marriage. Like, someone...
That's not the point. The point is you should want to always consent in your relationship. It's not about that consent doesn't exist. It's just that when you enter a marriage, it's like, you know, the till death do us part, and in sickness and in health, sex is a responsibility just like that. You shouldn't just leave your partner because they got sick. This is the same, it falls under the same umbrella here. Traditionalism built the modern world. Our entire history was built on these values. Correct. We're making that assumption because you have a Weasley conservative sounding voice, not your fault. Again, do you see what I mean? You're the person that I described moments ago. You were personally insulting me as opposed to giving me a valid argument. In my opinion, you just lack self-awareness. Like, I would love to hear your opinion. Give me your opinion. I'm inviting you to explain to me your thoughts. And if you don't want to because you simply don't like me or you think I'm a certain kind of person, then don't you think that that's a reflection of what kind of person you are? Because you should take a long, hard look in the mirror if you believe this. And look, you don't have to tell why, because you don't have to rationalize. You see what I mean? You're just saying things. You're not giving a reason. This is what often happens when you destroy somebody's worldview, is when you are the one that is set in your belief, because you are not even open to a discussion. Because in your mind, I can tell you right now what you're thinking. This guy is so stupid. There's not even a point in me arguing with this guy because no matter what I say, he's never going to change his mind. And he's just an idiot anyway. No normal person believes this thing. And this is the problem. When you are so set in your beliefs, that's what you believe. You don't want to discuss things. But no one, I fucking told you, I got their ass. No one has to explain or justify to you. Exactly my fucking point is that you refuse to do it because you're scared of being wrong. You don't know why you believe what you believe. You are proving my point perfectly. This is beautiful. Incredible. Thank you. What is wrong with that? Why should I discuss? Because why should you not want to know all of the information possible for you to be able to make your own conclusion as to what you think the truth is? That's why. Everything that you have ever learned came from discussion and from learning. Don't you, like, imagine you just believed everything every single person told you without thinking. How do you think your life would turn out? Because I don't think it would be very good. I don't have to be right. You don't have to be right. But the thing is, you have to, like, I don't know how you can be content with your life unless the whole point of living, in my opinion, is to try and understand as much about life as possible. If you're just kind of cruising on autopilot, I just don't really see the point. Now, obviously, everybody's entitled to their opinion. If you're cool with that, if you don't really care, that's fine. But then why do you give your opinion to other people when you can't rationalize it? It doesn't make any sense. You discuss every point. Every point that has major contention, yes, I will gladly discuss. Talking is one of the most fun things of being a human, discussing things, because that's how you learn. I love learning. I love understanding things that I don't understand. I love learning different perspectives so I can create a stronger opinion about something. I find that fascinating. Learning is one of the most incredible things that we are able to do as human beings. See you, Ches. My opinion is that your voice is Weasley sounding, not much more to it. You see, again, there's the problem. You're proving my point. I love this. This is great for. This is gonna be great. Because debate is the need to be right. It is fighting with idiots. It's not the need to be right. Who says that? That's your opinion. I think debating is just a learning experience. I don't debate with people to prove whether I'm right or wrong or they're right or wrong. I debate with people to learn different perspectives so I can better understand the world. If nobody ever talked to me about anything, how could I ever know anything about anything? I like discussing things because I like to learn. I love to improve. It's like, to me, discussion is like reading books. You learn from a different perspective, and that different perspective teaches you more about your own understanding of the world, and it helps you make decisions in your life. You have a normal voice. Thank you. But the thing is, her insulting my voice doesn't hurt me at all because it's the one thing that I have been complimented on my entire life repeatedly. So she's the odd one out, so I don't mind. How did you learn? From discussion, from observation, from action, from results of actions I have taken. All of these things contribute to my experience. And this is why I believe what I believe. The need to be right as a big telepersonality being proven wrong isn't an insult. That's also true. You know, contrary to popular belief, I actually think that being wrong is incredible. I love when people prove me wrong with a solid argument because it just puts me more on the right path. I'm not insulted when I'm wrong. I take it as a learning experience. Again, like I said, I'm not here to debate whether I'm right or wrong. I'm here to discuss topics that I believe people need to have a self-awareness for. That people need to be open-minded and discuss things so that they can understand the world from a better perspective. That's why I do it. That's what I enjoy about it. Yeah, you have a cool voice, dude. No homo. Thank you. What did you learn? In what way? What do you mean? That's very vague. Was there a rat on your screen? Don't worry, I'll take it off in just a moment. I'm out of water again. My voice is starting to crack up a bit. I'll be right back. But debate is not discussion. It is. That's a form of discussion. What did you learn from debates? I mean, that's also quite a difficult question to answer. I can't explain every single point I've ever learned about anything from debates. It's in the back of my mind, you know, some extra neurons connected to make a stronger point or have a different perspective on life. It's not something you can really pinpoint. I just became smarter, basically. That's all it does. Discussion just makes you more intelligent. You're more knowledgeable. Also open to different perspectives. Yeah, I haven't heard a decent argument, but like I've been arguing a point. You haven't really given anything. Like, it's kind of ironic that you say I haven't when you have not given a single why for why you believe that traditionalism is bad. Exactly. You haven't made any point. Look, I'm welcoming you. Like I said, I don't know why you have this very strong hatred for me despite not knowing me. To me, that says that you're just, I don't know, like, anytime somebody hates somebody else for their opinion, I think is silly. Because to me, it shows fear. How could you hate somebody for what they think? And why would you not be interested in what their opinion is? I'm always very interested in the opinions of people who disagree with me. Because I believe that they always know something I don't. Now, will that always change my opinion? Of course not. It rarely does. But will it teach me something new? Yes. I don't want to discuss with people who agree with me. Perspectives of people who disagree are what's going to make me learn and is going to reinforce my own personal belief. How can I learn something from learning from somebody who agrees with me? No, again, I'm not saying it's about winning. I'm saying to make stronger points for myself so I could direct my life in a better way. Because things like this, like discussing, for example, traditionalism versus non-traditionalism, that is going to affect whether I have a traditional or non-traditional relationship. So I want to discuss these things so I could, in my mind, make up my own mind about which path is the best one based on my experience and understanding. So I need to learn from both perspectives so I could learn what I believe to be the correct choice. That's why I like to discuss things. I think that's quite clear. Just that you have a Weasley voice. Yeah, but you're just, I'm not saying you, okay, maybe hate was the wrong word to use, but you're showing a strong dislike and you're showing a lot of resentment and hateful commentary for no particular reason. I haven't insulted you. You just came in here and started insulting me for no reason. But how do you know what is better? Just by getting as much data as possible, you can make a better decision. Do you not agree with that? And the decision is different for different people. Not everybody can fit into the same category. But the more data you have, the more informed you are to make a good decision. Is that not obvious? And with opinions, there's not even always a right and wrong because everybody has different perspectives. But for me to make the best decision for me, I need to learn as much as possible so I have more data to make the decision on. Am I really not explaining myself well enough? I feel like this is quite obvious at this state, what I'm talking about. You use the camera, but your arms look long as fuck. Well, I'm not short, so... they are fairly long. It is also the camera angle in part. Still waiting to hear 1 point on why traditionalism is bad. Yeah, you know what? I think I gotta move on because this is just we're starting to loop and it's just not interesting. When somebody brings up like a decent point, I will respond to it, but I'm just repeating myself at this stage. How do you know the data is right? You don't, but you can hazard a guess. I mean, you can evaluate what you think will be more beneficial than other things. How do you make daily decisions in your life? Decision making is just a weighing of consequences and benefits. That's basically the same thing this is. I'm weighing what I believe to be positives in my life versus negatives. It's just a personal understanding. This is just basic philosophy, essentially. It's just a quick fun fact of why people immediately disagree, but I digress. I'm all for traditionalism. Yeah, traditionalism is good. Look, people immediately disagree. This is true. Are you making rational decisions? Do you rationalize why you made the decision? I rationalize why I made the decision. Like I said, I don't believe that there's always a right and wrong way to live. I don't push my opinions onto people. I don't tell you that this is right and this is wrong. I'm always speaking from my perspective. I think from my experience and what I know as a whole, society is better traditional than not. But I'm not saying to any particular individual, you should have a traditional relationship, because that might not be true. I don't know these people well enough. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna move on to the next one.
Find yourself scrolling through Tradwife TikTok. One thing
I need to restart. It's so hard to grab this button.
If you ever find yourself scrolling through Tradwife TikTok, one thing you'll notice really quickly is Tradwives never refer to their husbands by name. It's always the husband, my husband, or hubby, but they don't even mention their husband's first names. And after a quick thought experiment, I've realized why they do this.
Isn't that what everybody does? Like, if I had a wife, I would also call her my wife or, you know, or girlfriend or whatever. Because if you just say who you're talking about by name, people might not necessarily infer what your relationship is to that person. Isn't that kind of common sense? Like, it's like saying my friend. It's like, oh, Jack over there. Well, who the fuck is Jack? Well, he's my friend. See, you could have skipped that whole section by just saying friend. It's the same thing. I really don't think it's deeper than that.
And it's because calling their husbands by their names would remind us, the viewer, that he's ultimately just some guy. And once we
Yeah, I really don't see that. I don't know what she's yapping about.
remember that he's just some guy, everything about the aesthetic falls apart. It becomes so unserious. Like, take the statement, I believe it's my duty to obey and submit to my husband. Sounds serious, right? Even if you don't agree with it, sounds archaic, medieval, high stakes. Now take the statement, I believe it's my duty to submit to and obey Keith. Keith!
It is a little funny. It has a funny ring to it. That doesn't mean it's wrong. Yeah, it's just for context, exactly. What are you guys yapping about now? Sun and moon. All right, you have fun with that.
You married Keith? The man you're submitting to is Keith?
Come on, there's nothing wrong with a
We
Keith.
all
Come
know
on.
Some guy named Keith. No one should be submitting to a Keith, even if he is your husband. Keith isn't a king. Keith isn't the lord of the manor. That's Keith from accounting. You let Keith from accounting talk to you like that? Girl, we didn't even let Keith from accounting into the world.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand her point. Disagree with it.
I cannot say this enough, but teach girls from a young age that male attention is worthless. Teach them that their purpose can be whatever they want it to be, that they don't necessarily have to be a mother and or a wife if they...
But then what is your purpose? If not to have children, what is your purpose? That is the only purpose that we really have. Everything else is made up. It's all in our heads. There is no other purpose. We love to believe that we're special in some way, but we're animals. Our purpose is reproduction. Hey, stranger. What's wrong with Keith? Yeah, exactly. Why she's insulting Keith for no reason. Damn. Poor dude. Every Keith just got shots fired. Caught a stray bullet. Unlucky. Watching Rage Bait again? Yeah.
do not want to be. If there's one thing that I could go back and change from my teen...
No, it's not. Okay, what do you think the purpose is then? This is giving you a chance to say why.
do not want to be. If there's one thing that I could go back and change from my teen years... and
it would be feminism! Get those bitches back in the kitchen! Fuck yeah! Everybody hands up for bitches back in the kitchen. It even rhymes. That's how you know it's true. Wonder how many people are going to be offended by that when I post that as a reel later. Women need 10 hours sleep, men only need 6. What does that tell? I don't know. I don't even know if that's true. Purpose not reproduction, whatever you decide. Well, that's just boring. Okay, if you're just going to keep talking like that, then I don't know.
And my first bit of college is how much I wanted a boyfriend. Well, yes, I do have a boyfriend now, and he's wonderful, and I love him very, very much. I first had to let go of that. I had to let go of that yearning for a relationship. I had to stop literally chasing these men. Now that I think about it, it was so embarrassing. And besides, in like high school...
I do think that chasing men is weird because as a woman, if you just take care of yourself and you're feminine and friendly and have a pleasant voice and you're well-mannered and you have graceful behaviors and mannerisms, then you will just attract men. There's not really a need to chase them. If I could go back to my teens and change one thing, I'd buy loads of Bitcoin. If that ain't true, brother. If that ain't true. In my opinion, being a parent is the only purpose a person has. Then tell me what the purpose is. Tell me. I want to know. Because it's the one thing that if everybody decided to do, we would cease to exist. If everybody decided not to have children. So how could you define purpose as anything more than continuing your species? What will you be doing the purpose for exactly? Dingo, I feel like you're rage baiting at this point because I did not accuse you of wanting to win. I'm so confused. I'm being gaslit. You're telling women to chase men by appealing to your own ideas of what feminism is. I don't know who that's directed to. Probably me. Yeah, but that's just because that's been shown to attract like good men. I mean, kind of, you don't. So do you think that being soft spoken and kind and graceful and pretty are bad things? Because if you don't think they're good things, then you must think they're bad things. So do you think an ugly, unappealing, unattractive, mean woman is better? I'm curious now. The purpose of a person varies individually. The way I'm seeing purpose could be defined from the way you see it. Purpose is the greater good for something. But the greater good for what if all humans are going to go extinct if you don't reproduce? What greater good are you achieving? At the core of it all, it's all meaningless if you don't reproduce. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, there is no greater purpose because without humans, every other purpose ceases to be meaningful. Black and white thinking, I also think men should be pretty. You didn't really make a counter argument there. I mean, you were disagreeing with the fact that I'm saying that pretty, attractive, kind women attract men. So why do you think that I'm wrong in that? Otherwise, what's the point of what you're saying? What's the point of disagreeing? Is it just to disagree for no reason? Most people will agree with me on that. That's why I'm saying that. And that's why I believe that. And because it's just obvious that it's true. I agree that reproducing is very important, otherwise we go extinct. Exactly. Like when you take everything to its fundamentals, everything is meaningless if you don't have children. It's quite a simple concept. Look, the way that life is set up currently, obviously, I think that you can have a purpose beyond that. I'm just trying to say that a life is meaningless with no reproduction. You can have a purpose beyond it, but one of your purposes should still be reproduction. Yeah, but you don't say the purpose is to eat, purpose is to shower, purpose is to drink water. I mean, that's not really a purpose. Because it's not, I feel like a purpose kind of has to be like an achievement. It's kind of just basic stuff to drink water. If you're that content in life and you're like some kind of monk who's happy with that, I mean, more power to you. But that's not the majority of people. I think humans in general need to reproduce, but I don't think that every individual needs to reproduce. As for me, it's about the survival of the species. Yeah, not everybody has to reproduce, but I do think that everybody should aspire to. Because when you think about it, not wanting children is a mental illness. It's not classified as one, but it really is. Because you are ending your entire bloodline at you because you don't want kids. Like, you're not contributing to humanity. I don't know why it's not classed as a mental illness. I mean, think of it this way. If everybody was depressed or anxious, we'd probably still at least get shit done. If everybody had the mental illness of not wanting kids, we're done for. So I think it's a much worse mental illness than a lot of others. I know too, it's not about survival of the species. You're honestly thinking going on every day, thinking about survival of the species. I think about the benefits of my species, yes. I think it's my grand purpose to be as useful to humanity as possible. Now, here come the jokes where you're not being useful by making this kind of content. Whatever, you can say whatever you want. But I go on with my day trying to think of ways that I can be useful to humans. Yes, this is true. That is exactly how I operate. Because I have a duty to humanity. Thousands of years of, millions of years of humans have entrusted the world to all of us now. And we must continue what they made. If you don't have that sense of duty, I find that kind of sad. Because then that just shows that you're very selfish. If you don't care about other people. We are here because we're social. We're here because we, knew how to build groups and how to communicate and how to exchange ideas. That's why we beat out our other common ancestor. That's why we surpassed them, because we were social. Thousands of years of the family bloodline continue just for it to end because you don't want to. It's so true. It's a selfish mentality. Exactly. We're on the same page here, noob. Everything you do is for the best interest of me. It's for the best interest of humans as a whole. Obviously, I'm going to be selfish to some degree as well. Like, I'm not completely selfless. I'm going to do things that I think are good for me. But I'm not going to do something that I actively believe is bad for someone else. I like helping people. I like being a kind person. Look, the guy thinks about us all. He's like, Jesus Christ. I mean, your words, not mine. I think this is just a normal state of a well-functioning human. I think humans inherently yearn to love and support each other. And I think that the current construct of society has really put a dent in our natural instincts of community. The way we're living our lives as a society right now is not right. And it doesn't take a genius to recognize that.
In college, my frontal lobe wasn't even fully developed yet, and the guys that I had in my orbit were not the greatest. They didn't like me because I'm me, or because of my interests, or because of my hobbies, or because of who I am. They were more interested in what they can get out of me, if you know what I mean. In all honesty, the best advice I can give you is do not date in high school. And honestly, be picky in college if you're gonna date, because you deserve more than some guy that's wasting your time.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't disagree. I think women should stay virgins until they just meet the right man. Dating in high school is unlikely to work out. Like, you can find the off guy who might want to have this kind of traditional relationship and is not planning to just sleep with you, but the odds are not too great. It can happen, but it's unlikely. You're better off going for somebody more experienced. Like, when you're 18, 19, you should get with somebody who's in their mid to late 20s or even older. Bloodline thinking is ego-driven. Humans have an innate drive to reproduce. Don't get too hurt that some people want to live their life differently to you. I mean, everybody wants to live their life differently. That's okay. But I still think that reproduction is a core facet of being a human being. If you're not going to reproduce, like, what is it? Reproduction is one of the, like, key aspects of life. Dingo is in a cult in his own head. I hope he escapes it. I agree the world is too politically fucked and Donald Trump is president of the US. This place is going to hell. I mean, look, the politics are so much more confusing than that. It doesn't matter who is in political power. You have to realize that by the time somebody is president, you've already had a few curated individuals which you can choose from. It's already been decided long before those candidates were presented to you. It's a lot more complicated than that. See ya, Balor. Not every human has to reproduce, only enough so the human species flourishes. Yeah, good stream. Thank you. Appreciate it. Nobody's disagreeing that not everyone's meant to breed. Yeah, like I'm not saying everybody has to breed, but I genuinely think that the main purpose of anyone in life should be that. There's also like a lot of the time that people get older and they come to that realization much later in life. That happens a lot too. Your natural instinct overrides whatever brainwashing you have sometimes. But yeah.
Focus on you, focus on your education, and focus on building lifelong friendships while you're young. And I'm not saying that you can't make lifelong friendships outside of school, outside of college. All I'm saying here is social capital with men is worthless. And unless a man that you're with is adding something to your life, you're better off being on your own. Focus on unlearning your pick-me-isms while you're young and really know the difference between healthy and toxic behaviors. I know that's
very difficult to do when you've never dated anybody. That's something that kind of just comes from experience. Kahiri, if you're like, why are you, what do you get from this? I'm just curious. You've been here for a while now. What are you getting out of this? You love just disagreeing? Use anti-grav yet? I don't know. Self-fulfillment, but to what end? For what purpose? I want to see humanity stretch across the stars. I hope so much that we colonize Mars in my lifetime. I'd love to. I won't be going as I love Earth, but man, I'll be so proud. Yeah, I think that's awesome as well. I'm really for that mission for sure. I want humans to prosper. I want my species to do well. As long as you know that your main purpose does not have to be everyone else's main purpose, I don't see a problem, I guess. I mean, everybody can make up their own mind as to what they want to do. Obviously, my opinion may not be true. The thing is about opinions is that they are opinions. There's not really a fact. You can't disagree with the fact that I'm saying that if everybody didn't have the purpose of reproduction, we would all die. That's a fact. But you can debate as to whether or not that is the most important thing. Because obviously, it's not as black and white as that. It's not like just because you don't have the purpose to reproduce that everybody's suddenly going to die. You know, it doesn't work like that. Life is more complicated than that. But yeah, well, that's the fun of discussion. How do you all explain thinking some should not reproduce? But look, you want to explain why I won't reproduce, but should I agree with you? I mean, you should agree with whatever you think resonates with you. I have no interest in you agreeing for the sake of agreeing. What do you believe? For like, rationalize all of your thoughts. Put them into brackets in your brain, you know, into columns of positives and negatives and make up your own mind. I'm only here to discuss. Perhaps occasionally you will hear something that you have not considered. Now, whether or not that will strengthen or weaken your argument is up to you and your own interpretation. I'm not trying to convert anybody. I'm just trying to be a supplier of information.
Can be really, really hard. And I'm not saying that it's on you to know if a man is good or not, because bad people are insanely good at hiding the fact that they are bad people. True. More often than not. Just have fun, live your life when you're in high school and college, and don't worry about being in a relationship. If that's what you want, it'll come along. You're gonna meet so many different people. Again, dating that young is just not worth it.
Yeah, I don't disagree. She mostly made good points. That's the problem. So many people don't believe in anything. Yeah. Agreed. It's a fact that we would die. I disagree that it is or should be the meaning of everyone's existence. Yeah, so we agree on this. That's what I said. I'm also not saying that it's what everybody's experience should be. You should do whatever you think you should do. I'm not going to infringe on that. Everybody's individual. I'm actually a huge proprietor of saying that people should make up their own minds. This is the whole point of this. I'm not here to tell you how to live your life. I'm here to try to teach you to be self-aware and to make decisions based on your knowledge as opposed to brainwashing and what you've heard. That's my goal. And, you know, we agree on that. Is traditionalism Darwinism? I don't know how you connect those 2 points. I'm not really sure. Dev's an atheist, by the way, the enlightened folks. I am an atheist, this is true. I don't know how anyone can believe anything when no one knows anything. Well, no one knows anything, but you know from your experiences. If you've made certain decisions in the past and they were fruitful as opposed to negative, or negative as opposed to good, well, you can make decisions based off that. And that's really what's important, isn't it? We make up our own minds based on our experiences. And it makes a difference in how our lives are lived. What is the purpose of humans? Well, I believe, in my opinion, the purpose of humans is to continue and strengthen our species. That's what I think.
These things, sorry, but you are pick me. Saying you hate wearing makeup or you don't know how to do it, especially in front of men. But I've never seen anyone who doesn't look better with makeup on if it's done right for their face. If you're wearing no makeup and you're standing next to a girl that knows how to do makeup for her face, I'm sorry, but she's always going to look better, and not that that's a bad thing. Everyone's beautiful without makeup, but the girls that wear it and do it right always end up looking more polished and more put together.
Yeah.
Calling yourself tiny or small, that one just puts vomit in my mouth. Especially if you say this around men, you are a major pick-me.
Why? I mean, it's just, that's kind of, I see that kind of like flirting. An atheist with traditional family values, it's a cold day in hell. Right, so is traditionalism Darwinism? I don't know. I don't know where to even begin with something like that. I just don't know how to connect the points. If you could elaborate and explain to me what you mean by that, then perhaps I can, you know, think about it. Men should wear makeup. No, wrong. Don't stop pushing the men makeup thing. It's gay. I think women shouldn't wear makeup. Let's abolish it. I love natural women. I mean, for the big questions, where did everything come from? Why does anything exist? Is there a God? Is there a continuation when you die? Things beyond our experience are unanswerable and require faith, but no one knows anything on these. Yeah, true. I mean, that's why I'm an atheist. I don't have enough information to conclude that there is something, so I would prefer to believe that there isn't. So, but you're right, we can't have an answer on those things. But discussing them can still bring you to some form of belief. Something doesn't necessarily have to be true for you to believe in it. But having access to information and being able to think through these points will help you come to a conclusion which might make your life more satisfactory. Like, for example, I personally don't understand what people get from being religious and believing in God, but they do. And you can't argue the fact that they do. It has an impact on their life. In a way, God is real because how do you define something real, right? Maybe he's not a bearded man in the sky, but God is a force that is very real because every day it impacts people's lives. You know, and that's important to understand. I'm agnostic. How come? I'm just curious. I mean, I say I'm atheist. I don't really, like, agnosticism is when you don't know. Atheism is when you believe there's not. I'm in like a weird middle ground. I don't actually have any particular belief. So I just don't really know what to call myself. But for simplicity, I just say atheist. But I have my own understanding of how I believe the universe works that works for me. And that's what everybody should have for themselves. For most people, that just happens to be religion. Because religion is basically all about trying to rationalize your existence, is it not? So as long as you have some kind of explanation that helps you understand your life, then it should be suitable. No one knows those things, not atheists or religious people. Maybe one day we'll find out those answers, and I think AI might be able to solve those questions in the future. I don't know about that. We'll see. An atheist that holds conservative religious opinions, it's scalding in hell, actually. Why? I mean, look, I make up my mind based on what I see and what I hear and what I think, not because somebody else said so. Again, this is the epitome of self-awareness. I'm not relying on something else to live my life for me. Not that I'm saying there's anything wrong with that, of course. Don't misconstrue what I'm saying. Everybody has their own thing. I'm Protestant, the mouthy Christian faction. You know, there are some things which are contradicting, so you can't really understand. Yeah. Hope AI figures out gravitational travel. That would be dope. Yeah, that sounds neat. As long as it doesn't involve deconstructing all of my DNA and rebuilding it somewhere else, I don't know if I trust that. I'm not too sure on that one. I'll pass. We could keep that one for transporting luggage. I'll take the long way.
Posting crying photos for attention. This is major pick.
That's so true. Posting crying photos is absolutely embarrassing. So why do you want to discuss what did you learn? I mean, it's just, I mean, we're still not really discussing. You're kind of just asking me questions. If anything, I should be asking you if you learned something. You haven't really given me anything for thought. You're acting kind of like my therapist right now. What the fuck is wrong with my voice? I keep fucking breaking. Excuse the French.
Vibes. First of all, taking the picture while you're crying is already bad enough, but posting it, that needs to be studied. Saying that you can't get along with any females at all and you just vibe better with the boys and you call yourself one of the boys. This is a major...
I don't know if that's pick me, but it is kind of weird. Yo, classic, if I'm being teleported, am I actually dying and being reborn? Yeah, exactly. Facts, makeup is bad for both men and women, but especially men. It's bad for both. I don't think either should wear it. Women wear makeup to make themselves look more sexually appealing. So I just don't think you need that unless you're trying to attract men which care about sexual appeal. But then that's the men they end up complaining about. So it is kind of ironic, isn't it? You look like the my disappointment is immeasurable, my day's ruined guy. No, I do not. Do I? Let me check. What's the theme with this live? I came in with my existentialism bullshit. You're kind of in the mix. That's kind of what we're talking about here. I'm not claiming I did learn anything. You're claiming to have all this knowledge. I'm not claiming to have any knowledge. I'm simply sharing my perspective. Whether that means anything to you is your own opinion and your own choice. I don't care. You play the game so much about being reborn in different bodies. I think I've heard of that. Women wear makeup because it fulfills them and makes them happier. Not everything women do. No, it's not true. Nobody would wear makeup if there were no people to look at them. So this is just untrue. Unless they wanted to practice art. So that's just wrong. Bingo, come on. That's got to be rage bait. Start to learn where there's no fact, only opinion. Well, that's not true. I mean, there's a lot of things in life that are not fact that you make up based on your opinion. That doesn't mean you're not learning. Sweet, I'm in the right place. Yeah, it seems like it. Just a suit, your faces are different. Okay. I'm just wearing a normal business suit. Oh, this guy. I don't look like that guy. He's got the, like... He's got those eyebrows. Mirrors, dog. You just said yourself they want to practice art. Yeah, but that's not why they're wearing makeup. Most women are not putting on makeup to go to the club because they want to show off their art skills, are they? There's no way you're gonna try to tell me that that's the reason. Don't kid both of us. It looks like the bad guy from one of the John Wick movies. I don't even know who you're talking about. Cooking is daily art, just like makeup. Yeah, but it's also because it makes shit taste good. Makeup makes shit look good. So if nobody's looking, then what's the point? It's like cooking a nice dish just to throw it in the trash. Many women wear skirts in the winter. They aren't doing that for comfort. No judgment, though. Yeah, and then they look good. I'm not judging that either. I mean, it's up to them. As long as they're not getting sick all the time, but that's their own prerogative. Looks like the bad guy from John Wick 4. Who's that? He better be the most handsome man on the planet if you're making that comparison. He's alright. But right now, you jump like 100 times. What is the point? Tell me what we were doing. What do you mean jump? We're just discussing things. It sounds kind of like you're trying to force me to have an opinion. Like you want me to be extremist. I'm not extremist. You're not in the right place if you want me to be shoving things down your throat. Love wearing a kill, keeps my balls cool. It's self-expression. People do makeup because they enjoy it, wash it off without leaving the house. Some people do it, sure, but you look, whenever I make any point, I'm going to generalize, because if I make exceptions for everything, we're going to be here all day. So most women putting on makeup are doing it to look more attractive. You're not going to convince me that that's not true.
You're pick me ick. Most girls don't like you because you're a pick me, and most men don't like you either. This one is just really embarrassing.
Nah, I'm pretty sure men do like pick-me's. They don't differentiate between them. They're just like, this girl is appealing to my thoughts, so I like her. It's pretty simple.
Saying it needs to stop. Don't ever say that again. Constantly bringing up how you eat whatever you want and you don't gain weight. Literally nobody asked. Major pick me vibes.
Most of these things are not even pick me. I don't really get what she's trying to say. You know, people just live differently from you.
Tending to hate things that are too girly to seem cool around men. They act like they hate makeup, they hate getting...
This video is kind of shit. So you see, I think you know you lost and took what I... And look, I told you the point of a debate is to win, but you claim it's not because you're a bad loser. It's your opinion. You're entitled to your opinion. I do want to argue. I like arguing. Like, we're going in circles here. There's no need for this.
Because I had no idea that some of the girls that I used to be friends with were pick-me's. But once I did my research, a lot of women that I used to be friends with were pick-me'shas. So I'm going to be sharing some of the things that my friends would do. That literally was pure evidence that they were pick-me's. This one friend that I used to go to the gym with all the time, I was literally on a weight loss journey, not just because I wanted to lose weight or because it was trendy, but because of my health. I needed to lose weight. It was really affecting my health, and I wasn't like severely overweight. In my opinion, overweight for my size.
This is too slow. I can't watch this. This is boring. Streaming will do that sometimes.
For some reason, single women are expected to forgive their married female friends for anything. We're meant to be understanding, ever available, ever accessible. We're meant to support them through all of the life events that they experience: pregnancy, proposals, engagements, destination weddings. But rarely, if ever, do married women really allocate time and investment into their single friends' life events, whether that's a promotion, a career move.
Do people celebrate promotions? Is that true? Do people have like promotional parties? That sounds kind of interesting. Career moves? To me, that just sounds like a congratulations text message. I didn't know people go beyond that.
and moving home, traveling, any other achievement.
And these are not really like events you'd celebrate. You just like, hey, good for you, you know, and then you move on.
That isn't related to a man, isn't related to procreation. And I see a lot of single women express their hurt and their pain, their disappointment about the lack of investment, the lack of care that often their married female friends show. I myself had many times where we've had an arrangement to meet up. I've made the effort. In fact, very recently I traveled all the way to the UK because I had some work to do. And 1 or 2 of the arrangements I had were with married women. I got there on time, they were late. One forgot about the location altogether. Got there, she was distracted entirely with her children. It's like, I've come from another country to...
I mean, they're just bad friends then. Not much you could say about that. They're just not good friends.
Catch up with you. We didn't have to do this. But if I say something, I'm being unreasonable. I'm being oversensitive. I'm not understanding what it's like to be married and a married mother. Here's the thing. Single...
Yeah, no, that's cope. That's an excuse. You can always make up an excuse if you look for it. I understand that being married and having kids, like, is difficult. It can be distracting. But you should be able to manage your time well enough that if you agree to spend time with somebody, you should be paying attention to them.
Women in your life are not just disposable accessories. Just because we might not be married, just because we might not be occupied with motherhood necessarily, it doesn't mean we've got endless free time whereby you can pick and choose if you want to call, text, check up on us.
Yeah, they're just bad friends.
I find it really interesting that a married friend is more likely to revel in a kind of, mishap dating experience with me, for example, and just ask me how I am. Ask me about the business I'm building. Ask me about what's lighting me up right now.
To be fair, like, at this stage in my life, I don't really talk to many of my friends to begin with. I do talk to them time to time, but I am quite busy. We don't really make plans. Very rarely, at least. So it just happens. That's just kind of what it's like when your life is busy. Your friends become someone you talk to only once in a while. Why does it look like she has a mustache? It kind of does. Like she got like a 3 o'clock shadow going on.
Whereas I'm more than happy. I've been trained to sit there, observe and listen, show genuine interest in their family life, in an element of motherhood, in an element of their wifehood. The amount of times I've accompanied a married friend to buy a gift for their husband or organize an anniversary party. That same level of interest and commitment is not shown in the reverse quite often. And quite frankly...
Yeah, I mean, that's just because they have no interest. Their lives are so occupied that they just don't have as much time to spend with you as you do with them. Even if you're very close with friends, I mean, obviously everybody's lives is different, but from my own perspective, I'm so busy at this point that I don't have much time to fit anybody in that I care about outside of, like, people in a very close circle to me. And that's okay. You can't do everything. You can't be available for everyone. You got to focus on yourself most of the time.
There's too many excuses being made that they're so occupied, so busy. Apparently, I should be okay with meeting a married friend for a coffee when the entire time they can't hold a conversation because they're with a child that needs their attention.
Nah, that's bad. That's bad. You shouldn't be doing that. That's rough. What have I missed here? Nothing too interesting. Embrace being bald. Who's going bald? Just like the bald guys feel a pressure to get implants or micropigmentation. I almost went for that. Bro, I'll be honest. I think I'd be getting a hair transplant if I'm losing my hair. I would look so fucking old if I was bald. I think that's a thing I might do if it calls for it. I don't know. That's just her skin. No need to bully the poor woman. Anyway, this video is boring. I'm gonna move on.
Married friends will open their mouths and tell you what they are going through. When you hear the word marriage, you will literally puke.
It's kind of the same.
I have kids or I don't want to be married, and they tell me, oh no, you're gonna change your mind. You're gonna meet a guy and you're gonna change your mind on those decisions.
That does happen very often. Obviously won't apply to everybody, but it does happen quite frequently. A lot of the time, your brain just develops. And also, love makes you stupid. When you fall in love with somebody, it's going to make you make decisions that you may not ordinarily make. Otherwise, no one would ever be together. It's got to make you a little dumb.
I always ask them, do you think I'm stupid? And then they'll try to save themselves with some bullshit of, no, it just takes the right one. Da, da, da. But I love to follow up that conversation with, am I stupid? Because you must think I'm stupid to be 28 years old and have been making decisions up until this point in my life that have got me here. But that one really big decision of having a kid or being married, I don't know about that. I don't know myself.
No, it might still change. The thing is, your brain is going to keep going through hormonal changes up until you're old. I mean, it basically happens throughout your entire life. So you might still come to a point where that happens. Now, telling other people that, I don't know. It's like, they would be right most of the time. But it's also the kind of thing where when you tell a kid in school that, oh, you need to focus on school, you're never going to accomplish anything if you don't. And then he grows up to be rich. There's always going to be exceptions. It's just one of those general statements that would apply to most people. Because a lot of people do change their minds. What even is love? Don't get me started, brother. That's a complicated subject. Not sure if I'll get into that today. But yeah, love is confusing. This is true. Speaking of love, you should join our Discord server where we're all very kind and loving and love to debate. It's in the description or in the bio on my YouTube. Shameless promo. It's free. It's just a bunch of people. I'm just trying to gather like-minded people. I want to have a place where I have people who agree with me and think like me, and want to make more people think this way. So if that sounds interesting to you, we'd love to have you.
That much. Or you're telling me that that decision is actually not mine, and that even though I've decided and I've told you I'm not going to be doing these two things, it's actually going to take another man's opinion and decision on my body whether or not we're going to have kids. Like, you must think I'm weak, I'm stupid. Which one is it? You know, choose one way to diss me. How are you going to choose all of them? I recommend you use this because although that person will never speak to you again, it does give you that chance to go head to head with someone who has like deep-rooted misogyny living in them. And honestly, those people need.
It's just because she is still young. Yeah. Her opinion might change. I just realized, why does this looks so much darker in OBS? Was it like that the whole time? Hold on. Oh, well, where'd it go then? What the fuck? It vanished. What happened? Here we go. Oh, man, that's such a shame. Yeah, fuck. And nobody said anything. It was all so gray. Good thing I'm recording this to my card so I can re-upload the VOD with the correct. Fuck, it's gonna be the same. Never mind. God damn it. That's sad. Well, no one really complained. I guess I could just do it in post-processing. Lighten it up a bit. Whatever. You're trying to start a cult? Nah, just a community. Not a cult. I'm not a leader. I want to find people who are just as perplexed as me at this shared experience of existing that we're all thrown into without consent. Is anyone in our Discord on the brink of insanity? We got a couple, yeah. Hear about Mold Book? It's a social media app just for AI to talk. I did hear about that, yeah. It's like a AI Reddit.
Overrated when you realize that about 80 to 90% of women idolize marriage and motherhood and only see friendship as a placeholder to pass time with when they don't have either or both of these things. I did write an article on this on Substack, so please follow me on Substack for more. A lot of women only remember their friendships when their romantic relationships or their marriages are going bad. They will go.
That's kind of boring. Sat listening to a kid with wishy-washy ideas. You're agnostic, buddy. Much more likable than an atheist. I mean, I don't think that it's just I don't know any category to put myself in with. I just say atheist because I don't believe that there is something that's supernatural. Also, yeah, why are you listening to me if you don't like what I'm saying? Her hairline, don't be mean. Poor woman got flamed. Hey, that might happen to you one day. You won't know. Showing you her age with that kid comment. Yeah. I got no opinion on anyone's hair. Like, I do make fun of people sometimes for fun, but we had a lot of very strong, passionate points today, so I'm kind of out of energy for that. She tells the truth. No one married or with children gives a crap about you until they're in trouble. Yeah, she's right. I don't disagree. Also, Dingo's on the other chat. Everybody, go to Dingo now if you wanna bully them. I'm just kidding. Relax. Don't take it to heart. I am streaming horizontal too. If you don't like the vertical stuff, I'm more of a horizontal watcher. Just the algorithm only really pushes the short streams for some reason. I much prefer the full view.
I didn't know that y'all really be expecting y'all married friends not to tell their husbands the tea.
They really think.
Babe, if you don't want Big Head to know, don't tell me.
I remember when everybody.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, everybody's gonna tell their partner about everything. When you tell a married couple something, if you just tell one of the people, you bet your ass that they're gonna tell the other person. You gotta imagine them as being one thing. Don't imagine them as separate people.
About this topic, and there were people saying, well, nah, like there's certain things that are so personal, like lady problems, this, that, and the third. I don't want no man to know. I don't want your husband to know. That's why I told you and not him. And it's like, y'all don't, especially if you've never been married, you don't understand. You think you got some special spot above somebody's spouse that they're married.
It's fun. I mean, it's just fun to hear. I would always ask as well. I like hearing the drama because I don't get out too much, so it's like the only spicy drama I get besides streaming, which I don't do every day. Right now, I might. I don't know. Quite busy.
Married to? And personally, when it comes to me and secret, I don't have any. If I don't want somebody to know something, nobody knows. I don't tell anybody. You feel what I'm saying to you? I'll never vent to somebody about something nobody could know. If I don't want this information about myself to get out, you have to legit find it out about me before I'm not letting that info out at all, whatever it is. I'm not telling a soul. Y'all gotta be more careful with your personal life.
Don't know why I'm listening. Enjoy your day, guys. I don't drink. I'm more conservative than y'all. You just think I'm extremely handsome. You can't resist. You don't like the Weasley voice, but you can't help but to be roped in. There's something about me that's just pulling on your nips a little bit as preventing you from leaving. I can see it. You don't have to explain yourself. I understand. I'm Scotch Irish. I gotta still. Conservative people invented drinking. I don't drink. It's another part of me that's not conservative. I think alcohol is horrible and no one should ever drink it. We should ban alcohol.
I was like, being mad at a woman for telling her husband some shit you told her, that doesn't make any sense. I'm so sorry. If you didn't want it getting out.
Thanks for the sub or follow, whoever that was. I don't have stream alerts, so can't see your name. If you want to say hi in chat, you can say hi in chat. It's a dapper look she wants. I know. Irresistible.
Don't let it out. At the end of the day, keep your own secrets.
The charm is hard to escape. Should I be triggered? You're all right looking, brother, man. I'm not trying to trigger you. I'm just playing some fun. Look, maybe at least after all that, we loosened you up a little bit. That's all that matters, right? You can go on your day being bitchy to someone else, but maybe with a little bit of a toned down version.
Anyone else recently got married and realized that all their friendships are changing, all their female friendships?
Because do you notice that women that get married end up looking down on single women like they're disgusting, forgetting that they were once single as well? It's almost like
Man, all this shit is like beyond my scope. I don't know what they're talking about. I don't relate to this because I'm not a woman. These are kind of stinky videos. We've been going for a while anyway, so it doesn't matter too much.
This is what my friends who are married don't understand.
Everything that this creator has said
is spot
Yeah,
on.
it's just marriage stuff again.
Realize is that I've never been able to keep my friendships with girls who have boyfriends or husbands.
Yeah, I guess that's it then, because it's kind of, it's overstayed its welcome a little bit. I don't like this topic that much. The first half of the female videos are better. I never know what they're talking about. Yeah, it can be hard to know for sure. Anyway, that'll do for today. I think we got through all the main points I wanted to. Guys and women are way different. Yeah, very true. Well, according to feminists, we're all the same, you know, so are we really different? Nice suit, thank you. I actually have so many suits. For anybody who doesn't know, I used to work as an accountant. I have myriad suits. I'm just experimenting with different looks on the streams. I'll see which one resonates the most with people. Might try on a bunch of different suits though. See what that's like. I think someone just sent a message, but it got auto-censored. If you did, just know it got auto-censored. I cannot see it. It's weird. It shows up on stream, but it doesn't show up in the chat for some strange reason. Close that window. You got to keep the porcelain skin safe for Kyrie. Yeah. Got to keep it subtle, you know, got to keep it supple and smooth. I know you want it. You can deny it all you want. I know I got you on the ropes. The same feminists who say we're all the same will say women are too weak for the military. So true. So true. Humans are a sexed species. It's just that one has gotten their needs prioritized above the other. Oh, that okay. I think I get what you mean now. For some reason, the sexed threw me off. Yeah. We are different. We're fundamentally different, and that's good that we're meant to be. Imagine how boring it would be if we were all the same. Isn't the reason we have relationships to begin with is because, you know, the other gender is different? That's part of what makes it fun. Anyway, I'm tired. I'm gonna call it a day. Thanks everybody for joining. Had some fun discussion today. Some not so fun and some not so discussion, but we got there in the end. You know, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys around again. And yeah, that's about it. See you.